All right. I guess we should start to get this show on the road, right? Instead of procrastinating. Yay! Yay! New procrastination. Hey there, everybody. This is Dicebag, artist, game designer, world builder, and occasional VTuber. We're working on more creatures today. More creatures. Yep. I'm really, I've got this on my brain. I need to work. I need to get creatures. I need to get more creatures out of me. Because I got ideas flowing and projects in the works. I've got videos. I'm actually posting videos now, not just streams. Video. Mostly speed paints. But yeah, that's the idea today. In fact, today, you may see this handsome fellow up on the screen here. We're going to be drawing him in a different context. I want to get some class illustrations done because I have like 20 of them out of 53 classes that I intend to make in this game. So we need to get more illustrations made for each one. Excuse me, had a little burp come up. But yeah, we're gonna be doing class illustrations mostly today because I need more of that, and I need it for videos that I'm making. I actually want to make a video about this guy's family. We're gonna make this as like a template for something I can do for each creature family. And for that, I want to have an illustration for each of the classes that I can throw up on the screen. So that'll be nice. Other than that, the actual the script and the recording is all done. I just have to get the visuals made, and then I can put that up. So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna get the fluid class, and then the ooze class. We got blank slates for them. And then, if we got time, which we probably will because these don't take so long, if we got time after that, then I'll probably work on a design for a mythic creature that I've been dabbling with. So that's the gist of what we're doing today. And in addition to that, I'd better pop into the stream room on the Discord. And there we go. Anybody wants to pop in, they can hop in and chat as usual. We're gonna get started on this right now. I like to use like the fluid, what am I talking about? Hold on. Okay. I like to use a sketchier looking brush where you're gonna use the mechanical pencil. Yeah. That's part of the reason these go faster is because I use a sketchier, rougher style. I don't really have to worry about specific, what do you call that? I don't have to get too, nitpicky with the line art and stuff like that. So I can just kind of throw some stuff together in the sketchy way that I like to do. And, that's how we do it. Anyways, the idea here, let's see, we're gonna have something like so. Here's the idea I'm thinking. We're gonna have him kind of with his back turned like so, like giving a slap to the camera, and then in the back here we'll have like the tendril coming out this way. Kind of like so. It's a rough idea. Whoops. Where are you going? That'll be like so. Now what's this guy? Alright. Kind of like so. Yeah. That's about right. Maybe his head could be smaller. Or his body larger. That's a pretty good gist of it. Now the question is, do I want to just clean this up, or do I want to draw over it? Probably wouldn't take long to draw over it. So, you know, let's just do that. We're just gonna draw right over it. Instead of trying to clean up a dirty sketch. I'm gonna switch my eraser to the kneaded eraser here to make sure it maintains some texture in the line after I erase something. And let's make that a little smaller. Give some drippiness here so we can get a sense that it's in motion. See, Glover not here, and not so much. I was thinking he had more of a thicker eyelash there, as you might call it, whatever a slime would have. Oh. He is looking a bit seductive, and I'm not too keen on that look specifically. Might just be because of how big his eyes are. Oh, we're gonna make them bigger. Now we need to make this match the other one a little better. Might also have something to do with how thick his cheek is here. also got like a beard going on. Should probably include that. That's another way we can show some movement here. With those little beard tendrils whipping around.
Kohate said, "Hey guys."
Hey there, Kohet. What's up?
Hello.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
I hear you, Evergrade. How's it going?
Okay. Bit of a stressful week, but I'm unwinding and doing well. How
Ooh,
are you?
I have had
Kohate
an unstressful
said,
week.
"I have become sick and not in the slang sort
Get
of
plenty
way,
of rest?
but I will lurk all the same."
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I had a little surgery done, but
That's
took
why
the-
I'm asking.
I took the whole rest of the week off just in case I wasn't. It was a little more involved than I expected, which it kind of was, but
I can.
not hugely.
Okay, well, it's good you got plenty of rest.
Got rest, but also got some work done.
You love to see it. Like you keep saying, I'm usually one of the either completely resting or all in on work. I've gotten better about finding a balance, but that's how I define it. It was a good week because this was the week I finally finished Inktober.
Nice. I guess everybody would have finished Inktober this week, right?
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a few people who were probably behind for a day, but I can't imagine they'll let it drag on for that long.
I mean, October is over.
Yeah, but some people can't let go. Can't accept that the accident wasn't their fault.
I can't accept that it's not spooky month anymore.
Sad. In my case, I'm not upset about it, but since I was so busy drawing, the month really flew by me. And not in the usual way where it does feel, because even if something does feel like it's going by fast for whatever reason, I'll still at least have time to appreciate it. But with the last month, it was the first time I did a full Inktober at was at my current workplace, so it was a packed day every day.
Kohate said, "Our pumpkins stay lit until the municipality demands we take them down."
Time to draw on the day, especially since I'm at work, where I shouldn't say I can carve out some free time, but I always have to make it seem like I'm working, or at least busy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think of things I can at least read at work to make it feel like I'm doing things, because if I do get all the work done done. I don't want to just be constantly rechecking all things to do things right. Mainly because I've gotten so into the flow that most of the time I'm good at avoiding mistakes, and when they do pop up, I usually get notified pretty easily.
Yep. Hold up a second. I played around with the settings on the Discord application earlier, so I'm gonna switch to that for a second and see if it actually functions.
Give it a shot.
Alright, say something for me.
Something for me.
Holy hell, it works. I think.
Are you a wizard? Wait.
You're louder too.
I'm usually really quiet.
And you're on the screen. Twice.
Oh my god!
What's
Oh
up
my
with that?
gosh! You cloned me. That's cool.
That's awesome. Alright,
I
that
can
makes things a lot
procrastinate twice
easier.
as much.
We got your avatar on the screen. You're not lighting up Geronimo when you talk. Nice. And you're louder. We might actually have to turn you down.
The Twitch link just caught up with me, and I was laughing and seeing my icon twice. Oh, I also just noted Koeth in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, Koeth.
Said, he's so
Glad
much louder
glad to
and
know your
clearer,
pumpkins
not
are
in a
lit.
bad way.
I hope you're lit as well.
Yeah, this should make things a little better. Let's see. Let's find a good volume for you. Maybe we'll drop you down all the way to 100%.
That'd be a first. Everyone's always telling me I'm too quiet.
I think that might be alright.
Sound good?
Alright. Back to drawing.
Excellent. Oh, I remember this. I don't remember this creature's name, but I remember seeing this creature. He's a slime creature.
Creature. It's pronounced creature.
I also like that
terrible.
you're not talking when everyone else is talking.
I remember it. I do remember you seeing one of his earlier forms and mentioning that you wanted to show off a demonstration of him turning into a shield.
Yeah, I was talking about that on
My
social medias.
social media. What's his name?
This is Glubberknot.
Oh. He's the final form, correct?
Yeah. He's the big boy.
Okay.
Let's give him like some back muscles here. In slime form.
Show off his sick gains.
There we go. Now it's about time I started coloring this guy. I've been procrastinating a little bit.
You've been perfecting him.
See, we like to use a multiply layer on this. Yeah.
This
There
is
we
the
go.
ideal slime's form. You may not like it, but this is what peak physical form looks like.
Yes. Not like those dirty slug-a-mush slimes.
Kohate said, let's go bustles.
Let's go,
Back
bustle.
muscles.
Back muscles. You versus the slime she tells you not to worry about.
I should make a meme about that one. I have multiples that could be construed as slimes. Let's see. Let me bring it up. I'm gonna bring up some pictures. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Oh.
There's her.
Have you posted her before?
I think so.
I must have missed that. She's brand new to me. She's a tall glass of water, I think.
Here's you.
ZOMG, he's literally me. Can't believe you posted a picture of Ryan Gosling.
And then, let's see. And I guess Glubbernaut would be, her ex and her dad and all the other hers.
Kohate said, I would have remembered seeing her. I don't think so.
I think you're wrong, Kohet. I think you're wrong. It probably got lost on Twitter somewhere for you, as things are wont to do on Twitter.
To be fair, things get lost for me on all social media. Feels like I'm always missing stuff.
Okay, do you guys use the chronological timeline on Twitter, or just the normal one that's like curated?
Let me check. Let me go to my home. I have it set as for you, and I haven't changed anything, so I assume this is the default setting.
For you would be the curated one, which probably means you're missing out on some of my stuff.
Oh, so I'd want it on following.
Following is like the literal chronological feed of the people that you're following, yeah. I usually try to stick to following until I run out of stuff to watch or look at, then if I'm still bored, I'll switch to the other one. But
yeah.
I want to keep up with the people I'm actually following more than anything else.
Yeah.
Kohate
I feel like I need to...
If I want to see my buddy's stuff, I use chronological, but the For You is actually great for finding new stuff.
Well, I'm following,
so
see if I really want to follow him. Unrelated to you, of course, Dice.
Kohet was in my ear through Geronimo. I couldn't catch half of what you said there.
I may need to look over who I'm following and see who's still posting.
That might be a good idea.
Or yeah, that, and check if I'm still interested in what some people are posting. Because I always, at a certain point, I tend to follow so many that you forget about most of them.
Yeah, definitely. And that's especially bad when they've got curated stuff and it just shows you like the most popular stuff that they think you'll engage with. It's one of the things I hate about these heavily algorithmed sites.
Yeah.
It's like every time I use a social media that doesn't have a lot of algorithm on it, I can pick up followers and stuff pretty well. But whenever I get on like a Twitter or something, it's like nobody sees anything I do. I can hardly gain any kind of traction whatsoever.
Yeah, I guess my experience with it has been alright, because I can't actually get a few interesting things in the other one the For You tab. I don't remember what it was called, but it feels so rare. It feels rare to see stuff from people I'm following. And I don't really spend a lot of time on here, so the following tab is definitely best for me. Don't use a lot of social media. I'm on mine's the most. It's the most enjoyable for me. But maybe not enjoyable, but as far as people there are, it's the place that I'd hang out if I was going to spend more time on. Twitter, I don't know. Even when I enjoy it, I do kind of. I'm more inclined to hop off later on.
I was definitely more into mines for a long time.
Rat Jam.
Rat Jam. Go ahead. What are you talking about?
Me too. Oh.
Is that I'm not familiar with that emote.
Who's this rat and why is he jamming so hard? And why is it a text-only emote?
I must not have access to that one. I only have 50 followers on Twitch, don't you know? And one of those apparently is me because it tells me I have 49 when I go into the actual tab that tells me my stats.
Hey, sometimes you have to be your own best friend.
Gotta like my own videos.
You be the change you want to see.
Alright. Time to start some shading here. No, he's putting it on the Discord. Ooh.
The rat is jamming. He's telling the truth.
Alright, let me see. I guess you could say that rat's jamming. He's doing something alright. Gonna play around with some layered styles here.
Go for it.
Normally just used like a default overlay. Or not overlay, but what do you call this? Clipping mask. For my shading on these, but the actual multiply layer actually looked kind of nice, but it doesn't really quite match the style of the other stuff I've done in this. We're gonna have to throw in a lot of shine on this guy to make him look right, I think.
Does make it look like old parchment.
That's the idea.
Yep.
I like to play up the old style look, to double down on the fantasy flavor of the game.
Yep. Looks cool. It looks cool. I always appreciate it.
Gotta play up the main thing that sets it apart from Pokemon here.
Yes.
What's been happening in the world this week? Feels like there hasn't been a whole lot, actually. Maybe I'm just not paying attention because I've been busy with this stuff.
Not a lot, actually. Well, nothing I've seen. I haven't been relaxing in the way I wanted to myself, so I'm surprised I haven't kept up, because I have been relaxing, but I haven't been getting hobby stuff done, like playing games. But on the other hand, I have actually been getting back into drawing, because I personally go into a bit of a cool-down period, and I'm just trying to draw something instead of sitting around until I feel
Strawbunny_Pocky said, hello.
As for
here for Tay
things
supports.
going on, it has felt quiet.
Said, what's been happening in the world this week?
Make an amusing discovery.
Nothing in the
that's a
good
few
old
months
US
old
of it,
about
that's
how
for sure.
People apparently unanimously agree that that in a battle between Mario and Luigi and Sephiroth, Mario and Luigi would win. And it's surprisingly
Strawbunny_Pocky
one-sided.
said, at Kohate heya.
Alright, Straw Bunny's in the chat. Hey there. How's it going?
Bunny? It's good.
We're just working on some art for my game here.
I'm helping provide dialogue on the Creators Cast. That's not official. That's not the name. Don't go with that.
Is we don't call it Creatures, we call it Creatures.
Strawbunny_Pocky said, "'S all good.
Just hanging out.
Strawbunny_Pocky
currently
said,
like
you
I
have
said,
a game.
Getting back to art. Currently finishing up one of two designs for some RPGs I'm going to be playing in.
Yeah, Straw Bunny is asking, do I have a game? I'm working on this. Let's see, I've been calling it Monster Collecting Sword and Sorcery Tabletop RPG. So it's basically D&D meets Pokemon.
Yep.
I haven't run any games of it recently, but I do intend to change that soon.
Strawbunny_Pocky said, oh.
Mm-hmm. I recall you mentioning you were playtesting a while ago.
Okay. Strawbunny_Pocky said, got it? Strawbunny_Pocky said, also hey Art.
Yeah, Art. I might have to turn Geronimo off. He's kind of interrupting.
He's a chatty little guy.
I'll have to keep a better eye on the chat. But let's see. Can I just mute this tab? I think I can mute tabs, right? There we go, mute tab.
Poor Geronimo.
Poor Geronimo. I'll move this combined chat.
Wait.
Yes, Geronimo is using text-to-speech here.
You mean he's not an extremely advanced AI who's reciting everything in the chat?
Look, we can't run the advanced high-tech futuristic AIs on my current machine, okay? We gotta wait for the technology to catch up, that's all.
Oh man, I can't imagine how high the numbers will get on the graphics cards.
Oh, we just go up to like a different unit. So like instead of watts, we would use kilowatts, like that kind of thing. Also, you ever notice how people always talk about metric and say like, oh, it's so much easier for conversions, but literally every unit is exactly the same. It's just the amount of where you put the decimal place. I hate that. You're not actually converting anything. Let's see. Straw Bunny says, someone just complained to me about a random TTS but had no text in chat. Do you know what it might have been? It really scared the crap out of them. I don't know. I've never really heard of that.
In Twitch? That depends. If it happened around the 31st, it might have been a ghost. Yeah, definitely a ghost.
Ew, math and science, she says. Don't worry, in the future, math and science will all be done by AIs, and we'll just be doing the manual labor.
That actually sounds kind of nice. I work at a computer a lot, but I actually get some enjoyment of just doing simple manual labor. Not having to think too hard over everything. Of course, you can only do so much that way.
See, the way it was always envisioned is people would be like, oh, AI will help us do all the menial tasks, and then we'll be free to like pursue our arts and sciences and all that stuff without having to worry about physical labor. But now the AI is actually becoming a thing. It's like, oh, we're gonna automate all the art away. You will be a slave to the corporations, and they'll take all your interesting jobs away.
Yep. Back to digital detective work. I now go to lurk. Okay. Catch you later, Straw Bunny. Oh,
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Don't worry, they're coming for VTubers too. We're already partially digital.
We've already got AI VTubers.
Yeah.
So, I guess the future is now, I guess. I still maintain my belief that, for the most part, we're not actually getting artificial intelligence in AI. Most of what people talk about is photo bashing and text generators. To be fair, the text generators can make better writing than most modern mainstream writers. So that's something.
That's a pretty low bar.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not like we're going to get anything better any other way, unless the humans make it.
Unless the people who hire those kinds go out of business, which seems to be starting to happen these days.
Don't do that. Don't get my hopes up.
Have you heard about the strikes with the actors and the writers?
I hear about it, and I remember a point where people were acting really sympathetic, as if we haven't had the past 5 years haven't had the worst writing and sabotage of legacy franchises. And then I think that there are probably decent people involved, and remember the people who pioneer the worst creations ever involved, and I go back to not caring.
Well, apparently the studios don't care either.
Well, at least they're being honest about it now.
I'm not even saying, I'm not even sympathetic to the striking guys here. They kind of getting what they deserve. because they're making all kinds of crazy demands. The unions that are involved, and it ain't going so well for them.
And I can't believe the unions are fighting for the unions instead of the little guy. What kind of a world do we live in?
Gee, who would have thought? The institution that's supposed to represent people is actually representing itself.
And that's crazy. That's like a business prioritizing the corporation instead of the workers who make it work. Well, at least we can trust in the government, isn't that right?
Sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, you literally hit the nail on the head. Like, the Actors Guild is literally asking for like a $1 cut of all streaming subscriptions. And that's not for the actors themselves, that's for the guild.
I didn't hear about that, but I'm not surprised at all. Because I don't think the studios themselves are looking necessarily good, but the demands always make them seem more reasonable, because I always get the impression that they're being fairly accommodating, and it's been one thing that's been mentioned is that if they want to change they can take the current demands and ask for changes in 3 years, because it's not a 10-year contract, it's just 3 years. Mm-hmm. And there are actual little people who are having trouble paying their dues because an industry is shut down. Not just the writers.
Oh, the writers are done. They already got everything.
Of course.
Now it's just the actors. Let's see.
I have to double check, because I remember hearing that the talks were going well and then they fell apart again. But that might have been for actors.
I think they were going well right until they sprung that whole $1 kickback to the union on them.
Yeah.
Apparently they dropped that at the last second when they were ready to sign the deal.
Yeah, that sounds right.
The union was just like, "Oh, this is too easy. We should get more money out of this."
They kept turning up the way things were told. It gives the impression that they've been getting good deals, and they just keep turning them down, trying to get much more than they should get.
That seems like it. Have you seen the amount that the writers get paid?
Something like $10,000 a month. I know it's much more than I make, so
yeah.
Put out extremely subpar work, if I'm being polite. So strange how I don't feel bad for him. I don't know, maybe there's just something wrong with me.
You know what? $10,000 a month sounds ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
And I almost took it as like, yeah, that's about right. But I think it was $10,000 a week.
Okay, I thought you were going to say it sounds like a lot, but they're in LA, but you took it a different direction. So now I'm not gonna care even harder. Man, I want to meet the geniuses who gaslight people into thinking the most expensive places in the country are where all art has to be produced out of.
Yeah, well,
they're geniuses.
That's changing.
Yeah.
That's changing now that other people have access to the same level of tools.
The netizens will rise.
Flyover country can have its own industries now.
What are they gonna do? Try to sabotage them? They can only fly over.
Koha says, I'm sorry, what are these figures? I stepped out for a second. What do I have to dongle for 10,000 a week?
Okay, just write the worst fanfiction ever and be comically political go from a certain angle.
Yeah, be a Hollywood writer.
Yes.
You don't have to be a good one. Just one.
No, if you're a good one, you're not a Hollywood writer.
That's probably true.
And remember us when you make it big, Koeth. Don't forget to shave half your head and dye your hair.
Whoops. Let's see. I think I might be done with this one. Time to save it and move on to the next. What'd that take? Less than an hour, and I was talking the whole time.
Nice.
These are easy. I really should do more of these more often. I could probably have all of them done in like a week if I actually stuck to it.
Sure, they seem simple and fun to hammer out. Just character icons.
Let's see, the next one is the Ooze class. I think we're gonna use this sloppy guy, part of his family in here.
Is Clubber not part of the Ooze class?
He has the Ooze class. Yes.
Is he mixed with another class?
All of the creatures have 3 classes as the standard.
Oh.
So for Global and its families, they have the Fluid class, which is what I just drew, then the Ooze class, and then the Pressurized class, which is like water guns and stuff like that.
Okay.
So let's see. I think I'll stick to Slugoop for this one. This guy here.
I think oh. Oh. Okay.
I think we'll use him for the next one. Go ahead, it says count him in. I'm thinking we'll give this guy like a DBZ power-up pose.
How is it? I had an idea of a pose for him swinging, but that's kind of similar to Glover Knots, so DBZ it is. Big guy's gonna go over 9,000.
I'll have him punching his fists and whatnot. And then there'll be like ooze tendrils slapping at the camera in the foreground here.
Man. He's the real one.
He is. He's the one who gets beat up in all of these. Maybe we should have it flop in the other direction. Yeah, this hand's a little big.
POV, you thought you'd be able to live your life as a cameraman. So he can blast ooze at a distance?
He can do a lot of things. Let's see. Let me pull up the wiki here. Let's just read straight from the wiki. An ooze's main strategy revolves around crippling the enemy's movement and keeping them engaged in melee. Sticky Slap is the basic attack, which can reach an extra space while inflicting the slowed status on a crit. Glob of Goo lets the creature blast enemies with the same effect but over a wider area, while Oozeplosion can plaster everyone within 2 spaces with the slowed status while also stunning on a crit. The Jelly Body gives the ooze a much needed defense buff to survive all of the attention it pulls in.
Ah, cool. Locks people down and wails on them so they can't get away.
Yes. Oozes are sticky. That is their main feature.
Cool.
Go ahead, says an ooze's main strategy revolves around crippling debt. Seriously, the cleaning fee is insane. It would be, wouldn't it?
I can only imagine what it's like having one of these in your house. Say goodbye to your floorboards. Hello to the mold. I'm trying to think of things I can do since I have a little more free time after October. Since I'm caught up with One Piece, I may get around to I first started the first episode of JoJo Part 5. I'll probably stick with that.
You can catch up with One Piece? I didn't know that was possible.
I'm caught up. I think when I initially tried to catch up around the time during the Dressrosa arc.
I don't know what any of that is.
Okay, it's very far into the series, and I got up, got a little bored, got back into it, stopped again because I caught up again, and joined back in once more, which in hindsight was a bad idea because I got back into probably one of the busiest points in the previous arc, and it gets pretty crazy with how much stuff's going on. The status of the One Piece. Status of the One Piece is
not found?
Still left behind in One Piece.
Is it real though? I hear people saying it's not real.
Oh, of course. The One Piece is real. No one knows what it is, though. Last he heard it was real. Yeah, a very reliable source did indeed let people know the One Piece is real.
Who is this? The creator of the manga?
No, it's a bit of a meme with one character shouting, "The One Piece is real." I don't even know if it really happened.
I thought you were caught up.
No, I am, but there's so much that happens, even in the manga, which is comparatively more streamlined than the anime. There's 1097 chapters, and if you want to find something specific, a specific moment, it can be pretty difficult, especially because in between arcs or even in the middle of arcs, they can cut away to flashbacks or other events going on.
That seems pretty standard.
Yeah. It's a similar issue. It's not a unique issue, it's just upscaled because of how much there is to read of One Piece. Currently caught up with the latest events, which, to avoid spoilers, they've been touching on some really deep lore of the series, which has been like drip fed over certain points of the thousands of hundreds of chapters, and it's been very interesting. I don't know if it's a downside, but it does you feel like it's getting to the action a lot quicker than normal. Because usually the formula is they come to an island, things seem great or at least normal. There's some sinister stuff going on, and the characters either get attached to people or are forced to fight against the big bad. One Piece Man is a machine. There are One Piece characters that are machines, so you're right.
I think he's talking about the creator.
Oh yeah,
he's a machine with... he's quite literally a machine. Like, he doesn't seem to have an actual life outside of making the thing.
That sounds pretty I feel like that'd be kind of normal with manga, but I haven't looked into any interview videos about a manga author's life. I do know that the grind is a lot more severe for weekly stuff as opposed to monthly, which is still hard, but does seem more reasonable.
Yeah, I have seen the guy's schedule before, and I would not do that.
I don't even need to look. I know it's going to be absurd, but I might look it up. I do remember that the author of Berserk, who more or less traded his health to make his book. So that's something.
Yeah.
I appreciate the grind, but there's a certain point where it doesn't feel right. Someone's literally killing themselves to do what they want. And the guys doing that usually have assistants to help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Eiichiro Oda work schedule. Okay, here's a quick one. Eiichiro Oda, the richest manga artist in history, wakes up at 5 a.m., works all day, and goes to sleep at 2 a.m. His sleep schedule consisted of only 3 hours during the week. After he hands in the manuscript by the end of the week, he takes one whole day and sleeps off the rest of the week. A typical manga chapter is typically between has between 17 to 24 pages that are usually produced each week. But it has a schedule source for eating, sleeping, going to the bathroom. Oh my gosh, that's...
Kohet says, if it was my job, I would definitely consider doing that with the knowledge that it would cripple my health.
If I did that, I'd probably be doing that, but I don't think I'd actively be crippling my health. I just get so into the workload that it would happen without me realizing it.
Yeah, I couldn't do something like that if it actually felt like work, but if it was something that I just enjoyed doing, then I could probably put in a lot of time.
I don't know if I'd put in that amount of time, but I would but focus on art and doing my own creative thing. The dream is the dream. I would actively cripple my health. I'd do heroin. Okay, but how would that help you make art? Go at.
It says this is a joke.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Last month did make me realize how little time there is in the day.
Oh yeah. I've definitely come to the conclusion that the most limited resource in existence is time.
Yeah. Man, if I could get to a point where I'm paid to make art, it wouldn't be a guaranteed dream job, but it would be. It would be nice to at least try.
I did do commissions for about 3 years that I actually lived off of, and it was not really that fun.
Yeah.
Doing stuff for other people is usually just not what it's all cracked up to be.
Yeah. This month I have to do studying for an exam I'm planning to take next month, but I need to remember to make one of my main goals to remake my commission sheet. I was so busy last month that I couldn't get around to it, and I keep putting it off because I'm trying to think of a design, and I look at commission sheet designs, and to be honest, I don't like most of the examples. I may just settle on something simple, take a few pictures, and list some extra options that I can't fit into the page.
Have you gotten any commissions?
Once a few years ago. It went fine. My problem was that I overthought it too much and stressed myself out. The guy I worked with was very cool. I haven't gotten multiple commissions. You just reminded me, there was this time where someone definitely tried to scam me, where I got a commission. I unfortunately started working on the sketches without getting a down payment. Then I asked for one and he said, "No, I can't. I can't. You need to give me more time." Then he made another excuse. Sorry, I'm traveling out of state." Then he said, I'm afraid I have cancer. I can't pay for you." Then he tried to get me to move money for him over to someone else, and I'd take some of that for myself. And I don't want to say I was definitely caught off guard, but I don't think I was fooled. I was mainly baffled and had to bring this up with friends because it was so weird.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I know I was kind of I was definitely naive, but it was so weird. But it was so weird that I had to verify what other people thought of it.
Yeah,
Naturally, when
you get some people like that are just psychos.
Yeah, so I probably avoided something along the lines of. I'm not even going to speculate. I definitely dodged a bullet.
I had one guy who wanted to. He had like some kind of whole series in mind or something like that.
Boy.
But he wouldn't tell me anything about it. He was like one of those schizo guys that was like acting like he was afraid I was gonna steal his idea. It's like, dude, I have my own ideas. Why would I do your idea if you're gonna pay me to do your idea? Why would I do it myself when I could get money to do it?
Why doesn't he do it himself if he's so scared? I kind of get the feeling, but if it's that important to you, I just keep it to yourself until you learn how to draw.
Go ahead. It says my favorite column sheet design is just a white background with the text "Just DM me."
I should probably do. That's probably the easiest. It feels like I mainly want it so I have something to share, but I'd rather just. And mainly so I don't have to go into negotiating prices over and over.
Yeah, usually if you have like a pretty clear-cut price set, people aren't going to try and negotiate with you.
Yeah,
they'll just take it or leave it.
Yeah, that's the main one.
Oh, to be honest, for you, I would think your time is best spent on working on the fundamental stuff. Because I think if people are going to come to you for commissions, a new sheet isn't going to sell them. But if you can show that you can do more than the kind of stuff you work with usually, then that's the kind of thing that will actually bring people in and want commissions from you.
Probably.
Because your current style is pretty niche.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I like to call it distinct. I do kind of lean into an anime style, but it's definitely something my own.
I think the mouth needs to be bigger. But yeah, doing actual studies of things from life or doing it from other artists even to mimic those styles is always good for you.
I did one of those in September, and it worked out pretty well. I should do that. I'll try that more often.
Oh. I'm pushing the wrong things in CSP, dang it.
Oh. Unfortunate.
Let's see. Koat says, I unironically have bookmarks for certain work I want to just copy and see what I can learn. It's so good. Maybe get a little obsessive sometimes, though. Yeah.
I tend to get obsessive if it's sitting around for a while and it bothers me. I may try that. Actually, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I've got some artists with styles I like mainstream and lesser known.
Well, even just realistic styles, you'll get a lot of benefit out of learning all that stuff. Is the common wisdom is you gotta learn the rules before you can really break them properly.
I understand. It'll definitely help me out. Because I do want to have a distinct style, but like you said, understanding the fundamentals are important, and I am able to drawing from real life will help, because I am able to help me pinpoint some weaknesses.
It's always better when you break the rules in a deliberate way, I'd say.
I have been doing that, and I have been getting braver with trying new things and jumping into things. I remember one day I just spent a few hours practicing hands and with some references and using my own hands.
Oh yeah, hands. That's always a thing.
Yeah, they weren't perfect, but even when I got them wrong, after that, when I tried to make a drawing, I felt a little more willing to do it. I don't know if I'm not confident that I could get them right, but confident in trying to get them right. The first step is always the hardest.
Yeah, it's usually easier to get hands right when you figure out how to break them down into the simple shapes.
Yeah, it's also a matter of practice, just doing it over and over and over again.
And references.
Of course.
Like I think I said this when you were on last time, but if I ever have trouble with the hands, I'll just take a picture of my own hand.
Yeah, and I gotta remember to flip it to help. That's the easiest way, because there's so many joints that it can be awkward to do.
Yeah.
To say the least. I do try to do art mimicry sometimes, trying to copy a style, though it tends to be some more cartoony stuff. And it's not completely one-to-one, because I focus on pencils and inks rather than doing it digitally and trying to recreate the colors. I should try that. However, one issue I have is trying to find I need to look more into coloring and looking into different brushes.
Look up a tutorial to make your own brushes, I would suggest.
It's a good idea.
That way you can kind of fit it to the style that you're looking for rather than just whatever somebody else has done.
Yeah.
And you've definitely got like the Mario-esque Nintendo vibe of that style down pretty well. Because one thing I'll say is when you do like Nintendo characters and stuff like that, it looks pretty damn good. But then when you try to do humans, that's where you're weak at.
Yep. I know I've improved, but still something I need to work at. I am more willing to draw people at the very least. I'm not scared of it.
Yeah. And humans need a lot of practice because when something's wrong, everybody can see it.
Yep.
It says, you move an eyelash out of place on a human and everyone's furious. You give a fish too many spines and nobody bats an eye. Yeah. Exactly.
I felt this so much in October because I'd kick myself so hard for awkward people angles, like angles and like short arms and stuff, but when I try to with more cartoon with non-human stuff, I was much more forgiving for myself.
Yeah. It seemed like you were doing a lot more humanoid characters during Inktober.
It was, yeah. Let me double check. I know I've improved. I know I've improved. I need to practice with regular anatomy before I try to get back into to mix it into my cartoony style to understand things. And during that month, I don't know if I mentioned it on Mines. A good chunk of the characters were characters I pushed myself to come up with designs for this month. Some of them were just conceptual.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good practice. Honestly, for all the mistakes I can pick out with my stuff, I am happy to have gotten a lot of these guys onto paper.
It always feels nice when you can just point to a reference of the character. Like, this is what it looks like.
I need to color my characters so bad because I want to do that more often.
Yeah, color is one of the things that a lot of artists neglect. Especially if they're not like industry professionals or something.
Yeah.
A lot of like internet social media artists can get away with not doing that or being kind of mediocre at it.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it's one or the other too. Some people are good with color, but their actual anatomy and everything is kind of eh.
Yeah. At the moment, I have room for improvement, but my drawing is much stronger than my colors.
Go ahead, it says color can suck an egg. That's how a lot of artists feel, I think. Especially males. Seems like women have a much easier time with the colors. And that's literally a biological difference. They see detail and more detail in colors than we do.
Man, a skill issue.
Skill issue.
Definitely.
This guy's looking good, dang.
I like the background.
Unironically a skill issue, Koaz says. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of things are unironically skill issues.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but something about this brush I'm using that it always leaves like a little dip at the end of the thing. I'm not sure why.
I mean, oh,
maybe dip isn't the right word.
There's like a drag at the end.
Yeah, there's this little mark that's disconnected from the rest of it, and I don't know where that comes from.
That happens to me. It's usually a technical problem. Like, maybe I need to. I usually update my driver or something.
Oh, really?
It says you have your taper setting on the brush too high.
I don't know, man. Look at all these options. I think I literally just copied this from a different one, or maybe it was just the brush shape. I don't know. Maybe it's tilt. Maybe I should turn the tilt off.
Are you using tilt controls?
I don't think that helped. It changed it, but it didn't help. It made the streak longer.
That's a change.
Let's try that. I don't know. I won't be using this brush that much longer anyways.
Hmm.
You know what? This type of background I'm doing here, I literally had to like look at an anime screenshot and try to copy it one for one before I understood what was actually doing what and how to actually get the effect to look good.
Like you said, reference.
Let's see.
It looks good.
I've had practice.
Excellent.
Think he might be done now.
Hey, he's looking powerful.
He do be looking powerful. Might want to use a different blend mode. Definitely not darken. I think this one will be alright, but I don't like that specific one. I'm just gonna move it manually.
Sure.
Alright. Calling this one done.
Hey, nice.
Now I have to move on to actual creature designs.
What kind of creature are you building next?
We're gonna work on a new mythic creature.
Oh. Oh, those are when you're moving around.
Hmm?
I just saw what you're moving around. That's...
That one stray streak.
Oh, okay, good. It's just that one.
Alright, I sketched this guy up at work and kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Okay, I am recording time-lapse. That's good. I've been trying to record more time-lapse things of my art process so I can stuff them into a video and post them on the random places. But, want to make sure I'm still doing that.
Mm. Oh, cool.
This little guy I'm dubbing the Smith of Madness. He's going to be fire and psionic type.
Cool.
Let's see. Alright, got my layer. Should be about the right size already. Oh yeah. Gotta go back to my normal brush. And my normal eraser.
So normal.
These are the ones that usually take a little longer.
I can imagine.
I always gotta nitpick at the details of the line art.
Relatable.
I'm always a stickler for line weight.
Yeah, I can be depending on the kind of art I'm doing. It can look really nice, but obviously take a lot of time to get right, especially if you're trying to keep them even.
I am specifically not trying to keep them even.
Noted.
I want my corners to be slightly thicker to give the impression of a darker shadow in the corners.
Gotcha.
At least that's the goal. It says some of my favorite artists literally have no line weight. Then other artists I like explicitly because of their line weight. Yeah.
Different artists have different styles.
Hot take.
Yeah, this is one of the hottest takes you're gonna get from me.
Yeah, usually you're gonna see the no line weight on the more animation inspired guys.
Yep.
Line weight is such a artist topic, isn't it?
You don't discuss this around the water cooler at work.
No. It's sad.
No
the
one
normies
understands.
just don't appreciate good line weight, do they?
No, definitely not. It's definitely one of those things in art that most people will miss.
It's something that you probably wouldn't even think about unless somebody tells you about it.
Yep.
Go ahead, it says, if I have to listen to my coworkers talk about batting averages, then they have to listen to me talk about line weight.
Oh my gosh. In my workplace, it's either politics or sports. If they're not talking about work. I'm debating using some AirPods to listen to stuff while I work. I should technically be good as long as my ears aren't completely covered up and I can still hear people.
I'm on night shift and there's only like 5 other people on the shift. No, not 5 other people actually, more like 5 people. So we do what we want for the most part.
You're lucky. I'm always worried about people watching me. Mainly,
Yeah.
well, mainly one person. So I don't have a lot of room to risk getting in room for drawing these days at work.
Yeah, I'm lucky until I get off work at 3 a.m. and the hospital calls and says, "Hey, we moved your appointment up 4 hours."
So, didn't get a lot of sleep then.
Nope. Before the procedure. Got plenty afterward. That's why I took so much time off. But I'm rested up now. Thank God.
That's good.
I wasn't even sure if they were gonna put me to sleep while I was getting it done.
Did they do that?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I guess it wasn't. I wasn't entirely out, but I was out enough that I didn't remember anything.
I remember. I got put out once to have some work done on my teeth.
On your teeth?
A tooth.
I
think it was. Yeah, I think it was for a root canal. And I remember my biggest fear was that they put me to sleep and I don't wake up, or I have trouble waking up. But everyone was pretty reassuring about the problems, and that exact issue happened, and I was out longer than expected. So that was good to know when I came to. Probably just a few minutes later. I have been getting good regular sleep. So I have found that maybe it'll change, but I have been dreaming a bit more, which is kind of annoying because I don't really doze off. I kind of conk out, and I'm either dreaming and not aware that it's a dream, or I wake up, which I usually prefer. My dreams tend to be pretty weird.
I haven't been remembering many dreams recently, except when something reminds me, like, soon after. Like, recently, my mom also had a surgery done on her knees to get something put in there to, I'm not sure exactly what they were trying to do, but some kind of pain in her knees that needed some work done.
Gotcha.
And she's the kind who likes to be up and doing things. And I had a dream that she was up and around doing stuff on her bad knee after the surgery. And I went to church that day after. This was an afternoon nap where I had that dream. And my dad said something about it, like, hopefully your mom's not up doing something while we're gone. And I'm like, I had a dream that she was. Otherwise, I probably would have forgotten that whole dream.
That sounds normal. My dreams are kind of surreal and uncomfortable. One that sort of stuck with me was I'm sitting around at some facsimile of my workplace. A coworker I know is mentioning how he needs me to work tonight, and for some reason I guess I'm seeing pictures of, like, the thumbnails for the Amnesia game, and I'm just, like, whispering to myself, just saying how much I don't want to like come in at night, and I just keep whispering to myself. Then out of nowhere, I'm in a location at night, and there's Five Nights at Freddy animatronics around, and one of them was the blue rabbit Bonnie, I think, except it had a square head. rectangular head. So yeah, I don't think it was that scary, but it was really off and weird. Hence why I don't really like remembering my dreams.
I had this one dream years ago where I don't remember much of the dream leading up to the end, but I was like, the gist of it was that I was like going around places and collecting weird creatures and animals and stuff. Not like Pokemon, like weirder stuff. And like, I got around on like some kind of like magic subway or something like that.
A train? Or...
It was underground, so I call it a subway.
I was thinking of the sandwich.
But at the end of the dream, like before I woke up, some of them broke out. They were like these big Hulk zombies that I had in a cage, and they all broke free and chased me out of the my underground bunker.
The subway, or
yeah, this is where the subway was.
Okay.
And I went up into the rest of the place, and it was like my grandma's house. But each room was way bigger, and it had some kind of like cosmic horror creature that I had collected in it.
Oh.
And like they were all trying to help me escape the zombies. That's the weird part. So what was it? Oh, yeah, actually, this might have inspired one of the creatures. That the first one I ran into was just like this big fleshy ooze that like covered the entire room. And I ran past that real quick, trying to get away from the zombie hulks. And I looked back, and the ooze is like grabbing them with its tentacles and eating them and stuff. And then the next room I went into was like some kind of sentient sun. A miniature sentient sun just sitting in the room. And as I passed that, it like started to explode or something, or expand or whatever, and just engulf things. Then as I was reaching the back door, there was like this big orb protruding from the wall. It looked like, what was it? It was like a giant black eyeball, but like in the pupil it had like little tendrils sticking out of it and squirming. And as I passed this thing, I reached into the pupil and I pulled out like this seed pod, like almost like a green bean, like an alien green bean. And I ran out of the back door real quick. I turned around and pointed the green bean thing at the house and squeezed it. And it like launched a seed at it, and I hit the dirt, and the whole house blew up. And that was the end. I woke up after that.
That's crazy.
That's probably my favorite dream I've ever had.
Yeah. I don't remember a lot of my dreams, mainly because I don't wanna.
This sounds like an insane fever dream, Kohet. No, it was a sleepy dream.
That's honestly, that sounds like a normal dream to me.
I'm always thinking I need to play up some of the aspects like that with the magic system and creatures.
What do you mean?
A lot of the whole creatures magic system and the way people interact with their creatures is through the dream world.
Oh.
And like I made up this whole system to explain a lot of the stuff that doesn't actually make sense in Pokemon, but they're like game rules that you kind of need to have. But it opens up a lot of like neat role-playing things that you can add in on your characters.
About things they do with their creature.
Kinda. And like for people who are like professional conjurers, they have to like practice lucid dreaming in order to control things while they're in their dream world. So one thing that they all do is kind of create their own little sanctuary for their creatures to play around in while they're not being used.
Gotcha.
So that can take all kinds of weird forms. And you can get real creative with it because there's not really any rules since it's a dream world.
Okay, so the setting where the creature's at is essentially your setting. Like, what a player makes of it. Right?
Kind of. This is for like when they're in the Pokeballs. When they're not being summoned.
Right. They're not actually in Pokeballs, they're in another place and they're called out there when they have to fight or do anything.
The mechanics I've decided on are that the crystal houses their physical essence after it's been absorbed, but their spirits are on the astral plane, which is where all the dream stuff takes place.
Okay.
So in order for it to in order for your creatures to come out and be functional, you have to have a connection between both. And that's where the conjurers come in. Because you can just take a creature and smash its crystal and it'll come out. But if it's not attuned through the normal process, it will just kind of wander around in a daze because it doesn't have all its faculties if it's not actually attuned by the conjurer.
Oh, I see.
And that's a game balance thing that I had to explain. Otherwise, you'd be able to have hundreds of creatures and just summon them all at once.
Oh, I see.
So we kind of had to explain the whole Pokemon aspect of only being able to carry a few of them at a time.
I see.
Because sorry, Pokemon, Nintendo and Game Freak, but it's the Pokemon League rules just don't make sense.
The best explanation I've seen, which is in the manga. It's still a loose rule, but it just says that handling more than 6 Pokemon at once is just kind of a headache. Which isn't a hard rule, because as far as I know, I don't think the Pokeballs automatically disappear into the system like in the games and anime. Like, a player can't transfers them manually or just holds on to more than 6. There's also one detail in the manga that I appreciated about how the balls are pretty much just empty storage units, but the Pokemon can at least see into the outside world and even come out on their own, so they're not just locked away randomly. And you can tell which is which instead of just keeping them if they ever get mixed up. Which was one thing I always wondered, like how do the trainers in the anime games keep track of which Pokemon is which? Because I think only one trainer really early on stylized his Pokeballs to help them stick out, and that wasn't to tell which Pokemon was which. It just differentiated them from other Pokeballs, which is another issue because they're all the same. They're all the same, and you can't tell what type of Pokemon it is or their demeanor.
I would have just assumed that they kind of put them in the same spot on their belt every time.
Yeah, that's what I figured, which does make sense.
In Diamond and Pearl, the lore was updated to say that many trainers use stickers or just remember. Go ahead, it says.
That makes sense. Then they kind of dropped stickers when people were doing interesting things with the letter system.
That wouldn't surprise me. They always drop fun features.
They drop and come up with stuff randomly. It's always been a thing.
Yeah, that's the eternal plight of the Pokemon player. Hey, this feature's cool. Are they going to take it away from us next generation? The answer is yes.
Yeah. Contrarily, they do that with lamer. They also do that with some lamer stuff. I don't think people miss triple battles or rotation battles.
I'd be down with pretty much any kind of battle that makes it more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sky battles were kind of stupid, though.
Flying only, right?
Yeah. Or levitate and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Literally just battles, but you can only use certain Pokemon. Very creative. Good job, Game Freak, right there.
I wouldn't mind. That would be more interesting if it was just more than sky battles and you had a limited pool of Pokemon to choose from. But it was just sky battles, if I recall. There was one feature that I missed because I didn't get around to X and Y. Let me see if I can find it. Inverse battles sound funny.
Oh, inverse battles where the types are switched?
And no type is immune to any other type. It's probably pretty simple in X and Y, but that does sound amusing. But yeah, another thing that kind of pops up and is dropped, and I have And I've noticed, like, sort of the main gimmick is pretty much made to be a regional thing that doesn't show up again.
Yeah, that's at least the way they've been doing it now, but
yeah,
in the past it didn't really do that. They'd have things like secret bases, and it's like, why can't we have secret bases this gen?
Yeah.
No reason specifically.
I think it was a big upfront thing with starting in X and Y, where Mega Evolutions were kind of at least phased out more slowly, and Sun and Moon had Z moves, which
Sucked.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm fine with those going. Sword and Shield has Gigantamax, Dynamax, which it was better than Z moves at least, but my heart's not really breaking for see that go. I actually think the Terrestrialize is the most interesting because it's not a stat that doesn't really feel like a big stat steroid. It feels more it can power up a Pokemon, but it feels more creative, which is why I'm kind of bummed that it's probably gonna be a one-off because pretty much tied to the region again.
Yep. That's what they do.
One thing I do think is technically better is that they dropped the mid-gen upgraded versions and just switched to DLC, because even with all of the tweaks, the main draw was always the newer content in those mid-gens. At least to me. I see the appeal as an adult, but as a kid, I always thought it was they were really silly.
Yeah, never been too big on that mid-generation stuff.
Yeah.
It just seemed like you're playing the same game but with extra goodies. And I've already played the game. I don't really care to do through the whole story again. The story's never really been the draw of Pokemon in the first place.
It kind of is for me, and at least with Pokemon, if you're good, and the campaign's a lot shorter than a lot of RPGs, so it's not something I'm personally into, but it makes more sense to when I hear people say how much they replay it.
People replay Pokemon?
Well, I hear people.
I mean, is this like for Nuzlocke or something?
Probably. But there are people who get pretty much every game, and like you said, they replay a good amount of They reuse a good amount of content in all the games, and that was definitely an older feat. Something the older games did.
I mean, I've had hundreds of hours in a Pokemon game, but that was not replaying content. That was me grinding for breeding results.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe not. Well, I think technically some people... I don't know, because how many people... There are people who like to buy both versions, and I'm not sure how many share them as opposed to those who would want to play both, because I know those people exist.
I've usually bought both versions for collector's purposes, but I don't typically finish both of them. Like, again, I just don't want to play through the whole story mode on those games. I just want to get in there and collect the Pokemon, and that's basically the entire appeal to me. And the old games didn't really have much of a story in the first place. It's kind of a newer thing.
Oh yeah, it was a lot more bare bones.
Alright, we're gonna have to put in the fiery parts here.
That'll be fun.
It's always fun doing things that aren't physical.
One sec. Do you keep a to-do list, Dice?
Kind of.
Hmm.
Don't always look at it.
Yeah, I haven't been as good about looking at it, but writing stuff down writing stuff down like that helps me keep it somewhere and remember to do things later. I don't always get around to doing it, but sometimes I fill it up with too much stuff instead of doing a few tasks and adding some more if I have time in the day.
I've got a list with all the creature classes that I haven't drawn illustrations for. I haven't looked at it in a while. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. For October, I wrote out every character I wanted with some details and ideas for poses. I really do need to write more because it took a while, but it was fun to do. Just one more thing on the to-do list. Writing is probably the easiest thing I'd be able to do at work if I had time on the job. If I were to do that, since they're decently lax about people going on their phones.
Yeah, I've written a lot of the articles for my wikis at work when I'm bored.
I definitely should do that, even if it's just some simple one-off stories. It's some sort of practice, and I'm doing things. Just as long as I'm doing things, because even on a busy day, it usually starts off kind of packed, but the rest of but after the initial work's done, it's a start and stop of work where things pop up sporadically.
Yeah. For me, it's mostly you spend the first part of the day setting things up, and then a lot of the time after that is just waiting on the machines and reloading them with new parts.
I'm usually waiting on people to get things to me. And I've learned better than to worry about being bored or hope people hurry up with anything, because work will always come to me.
Oh yeah.
Especially if I feel like there's nothing to do, and I'll regret not taking advantage of that.
You get your work done more efficient, and that just basically tells your boss, hey, we can do more work in the same amount of time.
Most productive people are punished with more work.
Yep.
Yeah, Honestly, I kind of have to look busy, or at least just focus on doing stuff on my phone mainly, because it was kind of a stressful week. So imagine if a company that handles, I'll be vague and say, moving things from one location to another suddenly stops doing anything without notifying anyone. And one of the companies is extremely stressful about thing you what you, your product getting moved from one location to another to get fixed up. That's going to cause problems, and it causes a lot of stress for some people, on top of there being a lot of work and the work not always getting done as fast as the company wants it to be. Bunch of stuff piling up on each other. One main issue could be solved if we just say something will take longer than the current time period.
Yeah, give yourself a little time padding.
Yeah, but saying we'll look at this right away is a lot more appealing. Unfortunately, it's not feasible, and that kind of makes people more upset and asking, "Hey, what's going on?" A lot. I get it from a business point of view, but it feels silly that it does show a disconnect with what some people want versus what's feasible to do. Flames are looking nice.
Yeah, I've done flames a few times in this style, so I've pretty much got that process down.
Excellent. Looks like a living furnace.
That is what we're going for.
Hey.
Not entirely sold on the colors, though.
He looks... Yeah, dark red. Does he have a face?
He will have a face. It'll be like glowing eyes, and that's about it.
Okay.
Actually, we could probably put that on the layers here. The flyer layers.
The flyer layers. Yes, for flyers.
That'll be something like so. Actually, probably should have just should have used one of the other colors, like this orange. There we go. Now I can get the yellow in there. That's probably good enough for now. Might revisit that, the shape of those.
Sure. How do you feel about this matches with the rest of his colors?
I'm mainly worried about the metal parts. I'm thinking they should probably be darker.
Sure. You can make him darker and have light shining off of them. Would there be glowing coming out of his neck?
Probably.
Okay.
Let's see. Tonal correction, that's what I'm looking for. Maybe something more like this. Alright, I think I'm gonna work a little backwards from normal and go on with the highlights first.
Sure.
Gonna be a little weird given that he's kind of emitting his own light.
I think that'll mainly be interesting for the metal on his body. The arms making. Yeah, because he's coming. The light would technically be coming through a few grates, right?
Through what?
Through the grates, the bars on the bottom of his torso.
Right. Whoop.
You okay?
Yeah, just had a little stutter there.
I noticed. What kind of creature is he again?
He's a mythic creature. Or are you talking about his typing?
Well, actually, I forgot that, but what's his typing again?
Fire and psionic.
Oh. Does he have a name?
The Smith of Madness.
Okay.
Mythic creatures don't have specific names like a species would.
Oh.
They have titles. Because mythic creatures rule over a particular area of land as their territory.
I see. And more common creatures go by regular names.
Yeah. These
Nice.
guys are unique. And binding a mythic creature is how you become part of the nobility in creatures. Because that gives you a metaphysical claim to the land that they rule over. How would you bind a creature exactly? I have an image of that specifically.
Oh wait, I remember now. I think I remember that image. It's from a while ago, but I did see it.
Yeah.
Binding them to the crystal.
Let me slap it up here. This is one I wanted to get in a actual illustration. Because that's not something I feel comfortable explaining with words. Not mean.
I understand perfectly.
Plus, it's cooler when you can see it.
Definitely.
I'm liking how the faceting on the face is shaping up.
It looks really cool in the horns. Reminds me of a gemstone.
Yes. Let's see. What else do I need to do to this guy? Oh yeah, this part. Okay, you know what?
What's up?
I think I did this a little wrong.
I was going to
There we
is
go.
fire right around? Oh. Oh, okay, I see.
Wait a second, hold on.
Did you want to make it red and orange like the fire, or did you want to color the metal?
Okay, there we go. I think.
See?
Then this part should be white. There we go.
Hold on, it's catching up for me.
Basically just shifted all the colors one stage brighter.
Okay.
Alright.
There we go.
Now
Nice.
we can feather.
Or white hot.
Yeesh.
He's looking quite fire, as the kids would say.
Do the kids say that? I don't know if the kids actually say that.
I don't keep up with what the kids say.
Dang kids, they ain't got nothing good to say.
Those dang kids and their lingo. I don't know what capping is or what FR stands for.
Alright, maybe, let's see, next I should probably do shadows. That's a thing that I probably should put on.
I think that does seem important. I don't know how, but it does.
Just a little bit.
Seems a bit. I'm looking forward to how you shade the torso. I don't know why, that seems like it'll be weird.
I'm probably gonna take some liberties with it.
That's probably a good idea. It doesn't have to be 100%. One thing I've learned about art is that it doesn't always have to be 100% right, it just has to be convincing.
Can't use the fill tool on this little section.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, it says the only rule in art is the rule of cool. I would beg to differ a bit, but that probably is the most important rule.
Yeah, like there's a point where an important part of art is exaggeration. That's one thing that's helped me get more confident about my art, where it's not that I don't want to improve, but I'm more willing to try things even when I know I have room to grow. Because I always want to practice fundamentals, but I also want to make things.
Mm-hmm.
Exaggeration isn't important unless it's cool. I mean, with art, I feel like exaggeration is pretty fundamental. I mean, unless you're going for realism, then exaggeration is technically not what you want.
Okay, I left a little tiny gap here and it's bugging me. I gotta fix this.
At least you got it. At least you got it now instead of catching it when you call it finished. That happens to me way too often.
Yeah. I'm sure there's still gonna be things on this guy that I go back and I'm like, I gotta fix it now.
That's one of the hardest parts of art. You call it, you want to get it done, but you're fighting with yourself not to micromanage everything. Curse of artists, you want everything to be perfect when when that's not possible.
Alright, that might be about as good as it's gonna get. Oh wait, I could always give him a little on this claw over here.
Little lighting or shading?
Shading.
Oh yeah. I see. What kind of domain does he rule?
The one I'm working on right now, let's see. I have it written down in a Google Doc here. Let me pull it up.
My first impression would be maybe a volcano, but he's fire, not magma. Lava. Magma's underground.
I think the place I have envisioned for him is like the area around a caldera. So, a collapsed volcano.
Okay.
But it's got some specific ecology that's unique to creatures.
Like what?
Let me see. Ah, yeah. The glass gardens is what I called it. So, in creatures, there's a lot of like, what would you call it? Plant-like things that aren't really plants, but they kind of function the same way. And some of them are like, they're like based on stones and gems. So they're living creatures in the sense that plants would be, but they don't have like green leaves or do photosynthesis or anything like that. Well, some of them do photosynthesis, but they do it with different structures than what plants do. So his realm is going to be very heavy on those kinds of things.
Okay.
All right. About time I started the finishing touches, I guess.
Sure.
Gonna be nice to have more mythic creatures to work with. I'll have to show you the other one I just kind of finished up recently. Because one of the things they have going on for mythic creatures is that they have like their own servant creatures that they spawn.
Oh.
And
right.
I just finished up one of the lines for the other creature I've been working on.
Remind me, is that the creature whose servants are the small, fluffy angel balls?
That's not that one. This is a completely new one.
Oh, okay.
Not the Kirby enemies.
Oh, good. I feel safe now. Okay. I haven't seen that mythic creature. Have you posted its servants?
I think I've posted one of them, the youngest form.
Was that the blue spotted leopard-like creature?
No. Nope. Leppa is going to be the new ice representative as the main creature type.
Oh, okay.
So once I get this done, I'll bring up the Moonlight Matron and tell all the viewers about that one.
Oh.
Wait, did I say Moonlight?
Moonlight Matron, I believe.
Midnight Matron.
The Midnight Matron.
I changed the name. I changed the name at some point, and I'm still stuck saying the one. It rolls off the tongue a little better.
Midnight Matron. Got it.
Okay, Shadows didn't take too long, I guess.
Let's have a look.
Let's see. Whoops.
Hmm?
Forgot to make that a clipping mask.
Oh.
There we go.
I mentioned digital coloring, but since I at least have a few markers, I should practice coloring with those. The big downside of that is got 14, and I know there's so many more different shades I can get. But it would be, but it is a good place to start. Coloring practice is practice. even if the main takeaway is what you get wrong, that's still helpful.
Yep. It's like Eddie's brother used to say, the only way to get it right is to get it wrong.
One saying I've heard is that every artist has a lot of bad drawings in them that they have to get out.
Alright, I'm gonna add like a layer of glow. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, let me zoom out for you. Really kind of sells it. Oh no. I lost my color.
I'm sure you'll find it.
Yeah, fire guys are probably the hardest ones to color just because there's usually a glowy part.
Yeah, there's more of a shine to them that you have to account for. And that can affect the shading too. You can also mix quite a bit with markers. They're very versatile. I hate them personally. Yeah, I want to give them a shot, but I don't know if it's probably in part because I'm weak with colors, but it's something I haven't practiced with. Well, part of the reason for that is, like I said, there's a ton of options for marker colors, and it's not feasible for me to try to fill them out. I probably could, but I don't really have a lot of room for it. It certainly would be good practice.
Koya says, my point was just that you don't need a lot of markers to use them effectively. Like 6 is enough.
I'll have to try that out sometime.
Markers kind of feel like poor man's paint to me.
I see what you mean, because you can't mix up colors to blend them.
Yeah. A lot harder to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, it is another form of inking where when you put it onto paper, you can't change it. It's gonna be stuck like that, including the mistakes.
That's probably my painterly drawer nature talking right there. I have to do it right the first time? Oh, this sucks. I
think of them as a rich man's watercolor.
Rich man's watercolor, okay. Rich man's acrylics. Hate acrylics.
I don't dislike acrylics, but it's been years since I've wanted to touch them. Back when I was a kid, maybe if I feel like doing something different, I'll give it a shot. It would be a bit messy though.
When I was in high school, they had us paint with acrylics, and I was like, "Oh, I hate this." Then I did it in college with not watercolors, oil paints, and it was like night and day. Completely different.
I think I tried oil paints. They were alright, but I remember not quite. I think the problem was I didn't quite get how to do them right. It felt like I was always able to mix things up and things never dry, so it was left kind of awkward.
That's kind of why I liked them.
Because you could always change things up.
Yeah, you could always paint into things.
Yeah, it's weird that I'm saying that since I do a lot of digital art now. I guess it was because I felt like I had a lack of control.
Acrylics are based. Kohat, what are you smoking? Acrylics are not based. Acrylics are blue-pilled.
Acrylics are based on weakness. The base department called. They're not asking for you, Koeth. Acrylics dry fast. It's like working digitally traditionally.
Except you can't blend them.
Because they're dry.
Yeah.
Dingus the Springus is rating with a part of 3. Hey, Dingus, how's it going?
Dingus, holy hell. Dingus finished the stream before I did. How's it going, Dingus? Did OBS scuff you into oblivion or something?
Isn't that part of the OBS experience?
I don't know. I think it might be part of the Dingus experience. I usually don't have too many problems with OBS.
I need to get into streaming. The most I've done was doing it on Discord with some friends.
Just get your audio right.
There's absolutely nothing that'll go wrong if I try it with OBS.
Hey Grim, how's it going?
Raid worked, right? It says Dingus the Stringus is rating with the party of 3. Hey, Rezanoa. How's it going, guys? I'm just watching the master at work. While I get my own artwork done on the side. Talking about extremely important things like
talking about paints. You guys think acrylics are blue-pilled and oil paints are based, right?
Oh yeah. I guess I do now since I'm on the stream. Since I'm part of the stream, I have to agree with you.
Sledge, good to see you.
It's weird. I enjoyed my time with acrylics more, even though it had the polar opposite problem of oils where things were permanent and changing it could be a headache. I also remember a big issue I had was never quite getting the paint colors right when I mixed them, so I'd use up a whole tube of paint way faster than the others.
What was this for?
Painting in school. I had art classes and I did a fair amount. It was fun. It was fun. It was alright. What do you mean permanent? Just paint over the paint. Well, yeah, the issue was more getting the right color.
Go ahead. The whole point of paint is that you can blend it together. If you ain't blending it, why are you using paint? Just color it with crayons.
It was mainly an issue. It was mainly an issue when we didn't finish a piece between classes, and I'd have to get back to it, and the paints were usually dry, or I needed more of them, and I couldn't quite get the colors right again.
You know, we got some non-artists in here. Do you guys want to hear about line weights?
You just roll up to the water cooler and, man,
yeah,
we're busy, but have you heard about those line weights, dude?
Have you seen the line weights on that guy's art? What do you think about the line weights on this guy? There's actually not a whole lot of variance in line weight on this guy, actually. I guess the Smith of Madness is done now. I can't think of much else to do to him.
I have... No, it looks pretty good. I have one potential idea, but I don't know if maybe like making the center of his face darker is sort of a liberty taken with the shading and to highlight the eyes, but I don't know how that would look.
We don't want to get too complex with it anyways. It's supposed to be Pokemon style.
Yeah, it's that light shading that looks kind of good and doesn't always make sense, but it works. Oh. See ya, Graham.
I'm gonna clean that little spot up right there, and then I'll call it done. Alright. Smith of Madness is done.
Nice work.
I still got a few minutes before my usual quitting time. Now we can talk about what I was talking about before.
Which part?
The other mythic creature I was working on.
You brought him up. I was hoping to see him.
Here we go. Let's see. Oh, come on. Where's that? Okay.
Oh, Dingus is good. My bad, Grim.
Oh, Dingus is heading out. Yeah, he just finished his stream, so he's probably ready to get off the internet for a bit.
I can't blame him. I have a friend who has artism that'll talk about hours about art, especially if it's animation. Hey, I've got artism too! What a coincidence. Small world, right, Dice?
Oh yeah, hey, Grim and Dingus, would you guys want to join the Discord that I have these chats in? I could always use more people to pop in when the others aren't around.
Ooh. We have Wait. Oh. I don't know why I thought either of you were listening.
Well, anyways, what we have here is the latest one I finished. This is the Midnight Matron. And this is a undead and celestial creature in the typing. Gonna have the vampire class and then probably something else. I'm not exactly sold on the classes yet. But let's see.
Does he have flames on him?
Hold on. I'm gonna get the invite link for these boys in the chat here.
Oh, I was gonna bring that up.
I'll just throw it right in the chat.
Yeah, that was the issue. I think it said bye, and I thought someone was leaving.
There you boys go.
See you there, gents. Get you on the flip side.
It's usually pretty much not much going on outside of a stream, but it serves its purpose. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh yeah, the agent creatures.
Oh yeah, I was gonna... A mythic creature can have multiple agents, right?
Yes.
Are they... How do I put this? Would all of... So, would all the creatures in his domain count as agents, or...
Nah.
Is it just, so it's just a specific set?
It's just a specific set that they spawn themselves.
Okay.
Here's the first one. This is one I've dubbed Howl-O-Wisp.
Okay, give the stream a minute to catch up.
You know what,
I'm not an artist, not sure I contribute to the art. But you know what? There's plenty of art stuff to talk about, even if it's just something cool you like about art. That's how I make most of my art decisions. Just think, man, this would be cool. Oh. Now I see
How do we... Let's see.
That's adorable.
I'm trying to share the thing directly to Discord so you can see it faster. But for some reason, it's not working so well. Open chat, create invite, edit channel. Turn on camera, share screen. That's what we're looking for. Share screen.
Okay, because I've got the stream open, so Twitch recognize. So I can still say I'm watching.
Ah. Yeah, I think this is just more immediate, so less of a latency.
Well, I'll keep the stream open anyway, so you're still getting credit for it. There we go. I see you in the Discord.
Let's see, Grim says, I'll probably refrain from joining the call tonight. Yeah, that's fine. I don't expect you to pop in right meow, because I'm about to end stream after I talk about these guys.
Yep. No problem.
Let's see. So there's Howl-O-Wisp. He's a little one. And then he has a second stage that he turns into. Ooh. This guy here. This is Will-O-Wolf. So obviously they're based on Will-O-the-Wisps and wolves. Will-O-Wolf is a little bit big. Should probably be closer to that. Probably about the same head size. Yeah. I like them. I like their designs. They're pretty nice.
They're very nice. The first design makes me think of Digimon. Mainly because with Digimon, like the Pokemon, well, the new Pokemon, Smoliv did that. I keep thinking of the really tiny round baby forms. And Link.
Round baby forms?
Yeah, that's the first thing that links things to Digimon for me. Not not the silly, not the mechanical hybrid evolutions that come out of nowhere.
Yeah, Digimon's really weird about that, isn't it? It's kind of why I always migrated towards Pokemon, is Digimon just doesn't seem like it has a sense to it. Just feels like it's throwing stuff at the wall all the time.
I'll be 100% honest. Even in more consistent cases, you don't look into monster collecting series for consistency. That's kind of why I like it. It's so wild that it doesn't make sense. You kind of want, but I like to see what they do with it.
Yeah, kind of. Like, a lot of them suffer from what I was talking about earlier, where the world doesn't really make sense because they're based around video games, where everything's just kind of a game mechanic. Like, I still don't know how Pokemon centers function in the world.
I'm trying to think, because the manga, it's still pretty. It's not set in stone, but it does explain things a bit differently. I don't think Pokemon are healed instantly. Actually, I think they seem to function more like regular doctors, like cartoon doctor place offices or hospitals, where the Pokemon usually aren't healed immediately like in the games. They seem to stay there for a few hours.
Yeah, the anime kind of treat it that way.
Yeah, so ironically, usually it's the same with the anime, but it actually makes a bit more sense.
Koya says they harvest your Pokemon data to send it to advertisers.
Oh no! Oh no! They turn my Pokemon into NFTs.
That definitely could be a thing with the modern Pokemon games, because they always have ads all over the towns and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a nice little thing for, like, world building and flavor, but still, it's like, man, even in this fantasy world, I can't get away from the fake ads for fake products.
Dude, and Pokemon's getting too realistic.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, about the Pokemon centers. Holy hell, the music is getting too loud. Hold on. This song is... Alright.
Oh, I'm
now
in the Discord, so I can't hear.
Now I can hear myself think for a second. As I was saying, I fixed the Poke Center problem by mysticizing the way hit point recovery works in the game. So you do it through meditation and all that.
Okay. I assume it's gonna take at least a day or so, like in standard D&D, where you have to rest and recuperate.
Not for the creatures and stuff. Like, there's a lot of resource management that goes into the mechanics and creatures. And, like, obviously this deals with the astral pocket, the dream world that I was talking about earlier, where you keep your creatures at.
Oh,
so you
okay.
can meditate to enter your astral pocket while you're still awake, and then from there you can use mystic means to kind of refill their hit points and stuff.
Okay, that makes sense.
Of course, that costs your some of your daily resources. You have stamina and mana that you have to manage throughout the day before you get a rest. Because I do kind of like to have the combat kind of cutthroat, but I don't want a loss to be like a permanent loss. A loss in battle to be a permanent loss. I kind of go on the theory that it's not a difficult fight unless somebody actually goes down to 0 hit points. So anyways.
I hear you. I think the last... I tried Cyberpunk Red, and I recently tried Pathfinder 2, so I'm pretty used to assuming 0 hit 0 hit points is going to be the danger zone. So just if at least one person is taking close to that, I consider it's usually going to at least a tough fight for someone, because even if the other players aren't damaged, someone's going to be freaking out over a person dying.
Yeah. With creatures, I don't like to do the really easy deaths, just so people can... So you're not, like, killed by a stray die roll, you know? Well, the way I handle it is you have, like, a set amount of injuries that you can accumulate. Like, each of your stats are ranked from 1 to 5, and whenever you take an injury, that's like taking a penalty to one of your stats, in the abstract sense. And then, of course, once you accumulate enough injuries that one of your stats has gone to 0, then you're in danger of dying.
Okay. Would that affect actual dice rolls?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anytime you have an injury in a stat, you would take a die penalty to anything you roll with that stat. So yeah, that's how that works. Anyways, that's probably enough of me chit-chatting about my game. I should probably call it quits and get to doing something else with my day. My night.
No problem. It's not super late, but I've actually got some work to do, and gonna start thinking of what Goeth said, doing some art mimicry with others' art and studying.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, and I'm at the point where I'm willing to do that and do some artwork. And since I'm just coming off my cooldown period, it'll be nice to do.
Yeah, I should probably work on that video I was talking about earlier.
The speed paint video?
I'm actually doing, like, I'm not sure how I'd describe this, like creature overviews in videos. Basically like the things I've been doing on social media, but as a video. Where I just go over a whole family of creatures.
Have you posted one of those before?
Not yet, this is a new thing I'm trying.
Alright, sure.
We're gonna start with the global family, which is why I was doing these ooze things earlier, because I wanted to use those in the video.
Oh, so it's for a specific set of creatures, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna be doing global and goobly and glubbernaut as the first one, since they are kind of the number ones in the Pokédex, so to speak. But yeah, y'all can look forward to that. So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. If you're still here and you haven't subscribed, by the way, I'm looking at you, Rumble guys. How many of you were there? 8 people watching? 8 people watching. 9 watching on Rumble. What are you guys doing? Your chat's empty.
Oh my gosh.
Give me a follow, guys. I don't mind that you lurk, but give me a follow, why don't you? You can see me do more of this and talk more about my game, and we'll be doing... I intend to have actual play sessions for play testing in the near future again. It's been a while since I've done those, so... Yeah, that'll be fun when I can actually get to it, but, you know, I got so much other stuff I want to try and do. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. We're gonna call it quits here. Bye! See you next time.
Good night. Dice shall head off as well. Good night, Dice.